Good day, YouTubers. Thanks for joining me. It's been a long time since I've posted a video, so my apologies. Just the last year and a bit have been way too crazy, way too hectic, but I'm glad I finally get a chance to catch my breath here and to post another video. So this is the 55th video in my series, believe it or not, on Ontario Northland models in HO scale. But this video is just a bit of a general update. As I've gone through my other videos, I've talked about road numbers, and I've identified some road numbers and such that I was missing from my collection at times. And I have been successful over the past year in regards to being able to fill in some of these gaps. And I thought that I would run through these and talk about them a bit for any of my audience that might be interested. So without further ado, let's start off by talking about Atlas. So way back in my third video, I talk about these classic Atlas yellow box RS3s, and I was able to show you road number 1301 at that time, and I did not have a road number 1306. I'm now happy to have been able to add one of those to my collection. In my video 26, I talk about these Atlas GP40-2s, at which time I did not have road number 2202, so again, I've been happy to be able to add that to my collection. In video 24, I talked about Atlas Trainman boxcars. There were two road numbers that I was missing that were specific to the first release, and I've been now able to acquire both of these, road number 7833 and road number 7841. Also in video 24, I talk about these Atlas Trainman 40-foot boxcar kits, and I was missing road number 90743 in the jade paint scheme, and I've now been able to add that to my collection. Now moving on and talking about some roundhouse cars. Back in videos 11 and 49, I talk about these small ore hoppers, and then these 3-bay ore hoppers that were in the black, sublettered for Algoma Central. For the ore hoppers, I have repeatedly identified that road number 6071 appeared to be the only road number I could ever find amongst the multiple releases of these hoppers by Roundhouse, but lo and behold, I have found another road number 6092. So it does appear that for at least one of the re-releases of this hopper that they did utilize another road number. Onto these 3-bay hoppers, I identified in my videos previous that I was aware of 3 road numbers and I was missing one, that being 8626. But it appears that there was another road number, 8635. And who knows, maybe there's still another road number or two floating around there that I haven't been able to find or discover yet. So this is car number 3 and 4 in my collection anyway. The other 2 car road numbers were 8621 and 8629. Now, the other little intriguing item here was I was used to seeing these cars in the newer style of roundhouse packaging. So this box is, I think, their most current packaging before the acquisition by Athern. You can see the car information on the end there accordingly. This box happens to be for car 8621. Now, the mystery, when I acquired car 8626, it was in an Athern blue box. So I'm not too sure why or what happened here. Who knows? Maybe it had something to do with when there was the transition in ownership there. Maybe they managed to get some of these cars out in alternate packaging. But a little bit of an interesting intrigue anyway. And another item here for Roundhouse, I had previously talked about these 50-foot ribside high cube box cars, and the 2 road numbers that I had previous were 7605 and 7866, and there is a third road number I found, 7856. So this is still kit number 1825. So again, they're still reusing that same kit number, but with different road name releases, or road number releases, I should say. So yes, we're up to 3. I wonder if there's any more. Now, moving on to Athern Blue Box items. We had previously talked about these Athern 50-foot open gondolas, releases by both Athern and Bev Bell. Car number 5028 is not a car that I had in my collection previous. This is Bev Bell Kit 1303, which makes sense as compared to the other road numbers and kit information I have, as the other 2 Bev Bell road numbers were kits 1303-2 and 1303-3, so it appears that I've got all 3 cars there. The other car numbers being 5167, 5186, and then the Athern release 5025. Now moving on to the next Athern Blue Box model is these Cabooses. Now I wasn't sure previous if these were straight Athern releases or by Bev Bell, and it actually appears that they may have been by another outfit that I did not know much about previous. The Cooper and Oshtemo Loco Works. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing something there, so apologies. But I've discovered a number of cars that they've done, and it looks like they did at least one, if not both, of these road numbers for the Cabooses. So car number 105 and 106 is what I've been able to find so far. The paint and print work all looks identical, so I'm not too sure if there's anything else in regards to road number. But what I have been able to identify are some additional boxcars. So the end of the box that I just showed you was for a boxcar that I found. So this is kit number 20, and it was car number 90457 in the boxcar brown. And again, another kit 20, but with a different road number, 90120. Now these are your standard Athern 40-foot boxcar kits, but what appears to be unique and a bit of a helping identification factor is the fact that they painted the weights on the bottom of the underside for the boxcar brown release anyway. The next kit being kit 21, and they appear to have done 2 different road numbers in the progressive paint scheme. Cars number 90,014 and 90,012. Again, your standard 40-foot kit. And on this example here, we've got a brown painted underweight once again, despite the fact that it's the green paint scheme. This car here just had the normal counterweight, which has become rusty over time, like you see on many of these. So I'm not sure if this is one where just the weight was swapped out, or if some of them went out painted and others did not. If anyone knows anything more about the Cooper and Oshtemo Locomotive Works and some of their releases, any information you have would be much appreciated. I'll be excited to see if I'm able to find any other models. And here's another Ontario Northland 40-foot boxcar kit, this time done by Canadian Prototype Replicas. So I don't know if this is something that was produced by another outfit. I'm not aware with Canadian Prototype Replicas, but it seems like they did a few different Athern 40-foot boxcars. And this example here being the boxcar brown, but with a yellow door. Car number 90783. And this one has a black painted counterweight. So not sure if that was something done by the modeler who put this car together, or if that was something typical of their releases. Again, if anyone knows a little bit more about how and through whom these were manufactured and distributed, that would be interesting. On the more current Athern Ready to Roll releases, I had talked about not having boxcar 91035 from their first release of these 40-foot boxcars. So I've been able to add this specific item to my collection. Now on the Athern Ready to Roll front, I was only previously able to show you GP38 number 1809. I've since been able to add 1801 to my collection. So I'm still missing a third road number there. which is road number 1800 even. And then there are two GP40s, road number 2201 and road number 2202. So that would be the entire line of the GP40s and the GP38s, after I am able to find Unit 1800, of course. And then under the Athern Genesis branding, I've been able to add Unit 2104 to my collection. So this is one of the earlier SD75 releases in the standard Genesis blue box that we got used to seeing. So I'm aware that the same release included road number 2103, which I'm still hunting for. Next, getting into some of the classic lifelike Proto2000 items. So I was previously able to show off Ontario Northland Gp9s in the classic green paint scheme, road numbers 1600 and 1602 that I acquired in my youth. I've now added road number 1603. And I've got a road number 1605 here, which I've not yet removed from its box. That was from one of those earlier releases in this packaging that I think we're all very used to seeing from Proto2000. And finally, I ran across what is obviously a later release of the Proto2000 Gp9s. This one reutilizing that road number of 1600 from that earlier release. Otherwise, the model itself appears identical, but this is limited edition with installed DCC and sound. Just a shot of the box end here. Their item number is 605100. Not sure if they just had the one road number. And I'm not sure if they also did any of these releases with the later yellow chevron scheme. Next, talking about the Proto2000 drop-in mill gondolas. So I still don't know how many of these cars were made, but I'm able to add a few road numbers. So what I'm up to for the progressive green paint scheme is cars number 5000, 5014, 5020, 5028, and 5030. In the blue progressive paint scheme, blue chevron paint scheme, car number 5010, 5016, 5025, 5034. Again, my gut feeling is we've got quite a few of those floating around out there still that I haven't been able to confirm road numbers for. In the Proto2000 flat car range, I talked about cars number 339, 100 339, and 100 349. So I'm happy that I was able to fill that hole in my collection, as I had been missing both of those previous. And now on to the Proto1000 cattle cars. Again, not exactly sure how many road numbers were produced here, but I've been able to acquire car number 80600, 80603, 80605, 80610, 80614, and 80618. Finally, 80620. Based on the serial numbers, I know that I'm missing at least one road number, but I'm still not too sure how many releases were done overall. But it seems like all of the cars that I have are out of the same release. Next, talking about Trueline boxcars. I've done a few videos on these now. There are a ton of road numbers, and it's definitely hard to figure out when cars were released and what road numbers were actually made. But car number 90248 here is a new discovery for me. I was not aware of that car number previous, but I do have a theory. I am missing car number 90228 from my collection. And when I acquired this car, the road number had been scratched out and corrected on the box. So I'm wondering if that was an issue in regards to what the marketing material illustrated for the road numbers versus what was actually produced, and maybe this is the elusive car. I don't know. I will have to keep looking. Again, Trueline trains. These great, very well detailed 3-bay hoppers. I had previously been missing car number 6049, so I've been happy to add that to the collection. Next we have Intermountain FP7s. They made quite a few road numbers across a few different production runs, and I was missing quite a few of these. I've been able to add Unit 1502 and 1520 from the earlier production runs. Then I had been missing Unit 1504 from the later production runs. That's with the slightly lighter shade of yellow in the paint, as can be seen there. Next are Intermountain FP7s in the chevron paint scheme. I've been able to get my hands on road number 1502, 1521, and 1509. So the road number I'm still looking for in these is road number 1517. Back to this paint scheme here, I'm not sure if there was or was not a Unit 1515. I have run across a few pictures, but it might have been a custom painted model, so I'm on the hunt. And finally, for Intermountain, these SD40-2s. So I only had the one example previous. They had 4 different road numbers released for sure: 1732, 1733, and 1737 are what I've added to my collection. What I had previous was 1736. What I'm not sure about is whether a custom run of 1735 was done for one of these locomotives. I've yet to see an example, but I'm on the hunt. And finally, back in part 35, I talk about the Walters RS3 in the original paint scheme. I previously had road number 1300, and I've been able to get my hands on their only other road number release, which is Unit 1301. I had previously talked about this run of Rapido Cabooses, and the car number that I had been missing was car number 121, which is this one here, so I'm happy to have been able to add that to my collection. You'll notice here that this one has a light blue roof. I'm fairly sure that that was painted by the previous owner, that the gentleman had gone ahead and painted that roof to be a little more prototypical. I know that Rapido has been known to have some slight variations between models so that they are road number specific, but I kind of think it was unlikely that that this caboose was a one-off with the light painted roof, but I could be wrong. There's a new release of these coming down the tube, so that'll be exciting to see, and I'll make sure I do a forthcoming video. Next we have Rapido steam generator cars. In my previous video, I've been able to show you Unit 200. I've since been able to acquire the other two, so Unit number 201 and at Unit number 210. So these were very nice, attractive, and well done models. And again, Rapido is doing a re-release on these. So again, in the paint scheme that you can see here, but also in a solid green scheme to match their earlier passenger paint car scheme. Next up, I've got some additional Rapido baggage cars. I've been able to add Unit 411 and 413 to my collection. Here's hoping that Rapido does another one of these in the near future as well, and that the road numbers 410 through 412 are done with the 3-axle truck. I was previously also missing baggage car 412 in the green paint scheme, which I've been able to find an example of as well. And finally, I thought I'd show off these cars as well. This is a more recent release from Rapido. They're Pullman Diners. Cars number 1407 and 1409 are what they released. And these are beautiful cars. I did review these in a video that I called Rapido Pullman Diners NHO, so it was not part of my Ontario Northland NHO series. I thought I better maybe correct that oversight by just speaking to it here. Thanks for joining me today. Sorry that I didn't really have any new content necessarily, but I enjoyed going through everything, and and figuring out what I had added to my collection versus what holes I still had. I'll work to post some additional videos in the near future. Thank you.